As Buddha once wisely said, in the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with someone? It might be a sign that it's time to let go. In this video, we will explore the 12 signs that indicate you should cut all contact with someone. This wisdom, drawn from the depths of Buddhist teachings, is not just advice. It's a powerful tool for preserving your inner peace. In Buddhism, understanding the nature of attachment and detachment is crucial. If someone perpetually brings negativity into your life, it may be time to step back. When your achievements are met with indifference or envy, it's a red flag. Anyone who uses your feelings against you is not contributing to your growth. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, and without it, the connection is unstable. If you're the only one investing in the relationship, or if interactions leave you exhausted, these are clear indicators to reevaluate the bond. If you find yourself compromising your values or feeling disrespected, it's a strong signal that distancing yourself might be necessary. Remember, preserving your mental and emotional well-being is not selfish, it's necessary. Join us as we delve deeper into each sign and learn when to say enough is enough. Your journey to a more peaceful life awaits. 1. Constant negativity. In the serene path of Buddhism, where the mind's tranquility is of utmost importance, the presence of constant negativity can be likened to a persistent storm cloud in a clear sky. It disrupts the harmony of our inner universe and hinders our spiritual progress. The first sign that you should consider cutting contact with someone is when their presence brings a perpetual shadow of negativity into your life. This negativity can manifest in various forms: incessant criticism, pessimism, complaints without the desire for resolution, or a general aura that dampens your spirits. Such individuals may not necessarily intend harm, but their energy can be draining. In Buddhism, the concept of mudita, or sympathetic joy, is central. It teaches us to find happiness in the happiness of others. When someone consistently negates this principle, it creates disharmony in the relationship. The Buddha taught about the importance of sangha, or community, where each member supports and uplifts the other. If someone's negativity is pulling you away from your path of growth and enlightenment, it is a sign that their influence is no longer beneficial to your journey. It's not about assigning blame, but recognizing the impact their energy has on your well-being. In the practice of mindfulness, we are encouraged to be aware of our environment and its effect on our mind. If the negativity from someone is a recurring theme that leaves you feeling depleted, it may be time to lovingly detach. This detachment isn't an act of aversion, but a step towards self-care and preserving the sanctity of your mental space. By recognizing and addressing the presence of constant negativity, you are not only protecting your peace, but also giving the other person space to reflect on their behavior. It's a compassionate choice that aligns with the Buddhist path of wisdom and kindness. 2. Lack of support. In the teachings of Buddhism, the concept of kalyana mittata, spiritual friendship, is held in high regard. It is believed that noble friendships can lead to the cultivation of wisdom and virtue. The second sign that it might be time to cut contact with someone is when you notice a consistent lack of support from them. Support doesn't merely mean being present during successes. It also encompasses encouragement during challenges and failures. When your milestones are met with coldness or envy, it's a sign that the person is not aligned with the Buddhist value of mudita, the joy in the happiness and achievements of others. Instead of celebrating your growth, they may see it as a threat or a mirror reflecting their insecurities. This lack of support can be subtle, such as a dismissive attitude towards your goals, or more overt, like belittling your accomplishments. In either case, it creates a rift in the spiritual harmony that Buddhism seeks to nurture. The Buddha taught that a true friend is one who encourages you to do good, supports you in times of need, and guides you towards the path of enlightenment. If someone's presence in your life leads to self-doubt or diminishes your sense of worth, it's an indication that their influence is detrimental to your spiritual journey. Detaching from such individuals is not an act of ill will, but a step towards surrounding yourself with a sangha that uplifts and supports your highest aspirations. By recognizing the importance of supportive relationships, you honor the Buddhist path of compassion and self-improvement. It's a courageous act to seek out those who genuinely wish for your well-being and contribute positively to your life's journey. 3. Emotional manipulation. In the compassionate teachings of Buddhism, where empathy and understanding are paramount, emotional manipulation stands out as a stark contradiction. The third sign that it might be time to sever ties is when someone consistently uses emotional manipulation in their interactions with you. Emotional manipulation can take many forms, such as guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or playing the victim to control your actions. It is a deliberate attempt to influence your thoughts and feelings for someone else's benefit, not your own. This behavior is antithetical to the Buddhist principle of right intention, which encourages intentions based on love and compassion rather than desire and aversion. The Buddha emphasized the importance of metta, or loving kindness, which should be the foundation of all relationships. When someone manipulates your emotions, they are not acting from a place of metta, but from a place of self-interest. This disrupts the balance of mutual respect and care that is essential for any healthy relationship. Recognizing emotional manipulation is crucial because it can be subtle and insidious, often leaving you questioning your own perceptions and feelings. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness helps us to become aware of our inner experiences and the nature of our relationships. If you find that someone's presence leads to confusion and emotional turmoil, it's a sign that their influence may be harmful to your spiritual and emotional well-being. Choosing to distance yourself from a manipulative individual is not an act of hostility, but an act of self-compassion. It is a step towards cultivating a life surrounded by genuine, supportive relationships that align with the Buddhist path of kindness and self-respect. 4. Dishonesty. In the path of Buddhism, where truthfulness is a moral precept, dishonesty is a significant breach of trust. The fourth sign that it may be time to cut ties with someone is when dishonesty becomes a recurring theme in your interactions with them. Dishonesty can manifest as lies, half-truths, or omissions that are intended to deceive. It undermines the very essence of right speech, one of the steps in the Noble Eightfold Path, which calls for truthfulness, harmony, and words that are beneficial and not harmful. When someone consistently chooses deceit over honesty, it disrupts the mutual trust that is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. The Buddha taught that trust is like a mirror. Once broken, it can be difficult to restore. A relationship without trust is like a tree without roots. It cannot stand firm. Dishonesty creates a barrier to genuine connection and spiritual growth, as it fosters doubt and insecurity. Recognizing and addressing dishonesty is crucial because it affects not only the individual, but also the collective well-being. In a community or sangha, trust is vital for the support and upliftment of all members. If someone's dishonest behavior is causing you distress, it's a sign that their presence may be more harmful than beneficial. Choosing to distance yourself from someone who is dishonest is not an act of judgment, but an act of self-preservation. It is a step towards cultivating a life of integrity, surrounded by those who value truth and sincerity, in accordance with the Buddhist path of ethical conduct. 5. Disrespect. In the teachings of Buddhism, respect is a fundamental aspect of interpersonal relationships and self-conduct. The fifth sign that it may be time to distance yourself from someone is when you experience consistent disrespect. Disrespect can come in many forms: belittling comments, disregard for your feelings, or dismissive behavior. It's a clear violation of the Buddhist principle of right action, which encourages actions that are respectful, peaceful, and not harmful to oneself or others. When someone's actions or words consistently undermine your dignity, it's a sign that they are not contributing positively to your life. The Buddha emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and consideration, as reflected in the concept of metta, or loving kindness. Disrespectful behavior is the antithesis of metta and can erode the trust and mutual respect that are essential for any healthy relationship. Recognizing disrespect is crucial because it affects your self-esteem and can lead to a toxic environment. In a supportive community or sangha, each member is valued and treated with honor. If someone's behavior towards you is repeatedly disrespectful, it's an indication that their presence may be more damaging than beneficial. Choosing to remove yourself from a disrespectful individual is not an act of aggression, but an act of self-respect. It is a step towards surrounding yourself with people who value and honor your worth, in line with the Buddhist path of compassion and mutual respect. 6. One-sided effort. In the balanced practice of Buddhism, where mutual support and shared growth are valued, a relationship that requires one-sided effort can be draining and unfulfilling. The sixth sign that it may be time to consider distancing yourself from someone is when you find that you are the only one making an effort to maintain the relationship. This one-sided effort can manifest as you always initiating contact, making plans, or being the sole provider of emotional support. It contradicts the Buddhist concept of sangha, where relationships are built on reciprocal support and shared paths to enlightenment. When the effort is not mutual, it can lead to a sense of loneliness and imbalance. The Buddha taught the importance of right effort in the Noble Eightfold Path, which encourages the cultivation of wholesome states and the prevention of unwholesome states. A relationship that requires you to exert effort without reciprocation can lead to resentment and exhaustion, which are unwholesome states that hinder your spiritual journey. Recognizing the lack of mutual effort is important because it affects your well-being and your path to inner peace. In a true sangha, each member contributes to the harmony and growth of the community. If you're consistently met with apathy or inaction, it's a sign that the relationship may not be conducive to your spiritual development. Choosing to step back from a relationship characterized by one-sided effort is not an act of abandonment, but an act of self-care. It is a step towards cultivating relationships that are nurturing and balanced, in harmony with the Buddhist path of mutual respect and effort. 7. Abusive behavior. In the compassionate philosophy of Buddhism, where non-harm and loving-kindness are at the core, abusive behavior is a clear violation of these principles. The seventh sign that it may be time to distance yourself from someone is when you encounter any form of abuse. Abuse can be physical, emotional, or psychological. It is a profound disrespect for the Buddhist teaching of ahimsa, which means non-violence. An abusive person not only harms you but also themselves, as they generate negative karma that hinders their own spiritual progress. The Buddha emphasized the importance of metta, loving kindness, and karuna, compassion, in all interactions. When someone's behavior is abusive, they are devoid of these qualities, creating a toxic environment that can cause deep emotional scars and hinder your path to enlightenment. Recognizing abusive behavior is crucial for your safety and well-being. It is not just a sign, it is a loud alarm that calls for immediate action. In a true sangha, or community, members protect and nurture each other, fostering an environment of mutual respect and care. Choosing to remove yourself from an abusive situation is not an act of weakness. It is an act of strength and self-compassion. It is a necessary step towards healing and finding peace. It aligns with the Buddhist path of self-respect and the pursuit of a life free from suffering. 8. Energy depletion. In the Buddhist pursuit of balance and harmony, energy plays a crucial role in maintaining one's spiritual well-being. The eighth sign that it may be time to reconsider your connections is when interactions with someone consistently leave you feeling drained, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. This energy depletion can be subtle, like a gradual loss of enthusiasm for life, or more overt, such as feeling exhausted after every encounter. It's a sign that the relationship is not nurturing but rather depleting your inner reserves. This is contrary to the Buddhist principle of right livelihood, which encourages creating conditions that lead to well-being and happiness. The Buddha taught that our energy should be directed towards positive growth and self-realization. When someone's presence becomes a source of constant fatigue, it indicates that the dynamic is out of sync with the path of Dharma, the cosmic law, and order. It's essential to have a sangha that energizes and inspires you, not one that saps your vitality. Recognizing when someone is an energy drain is important because it affects your ability to live mindfully and joyfully. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness helps us to be aware of how we allocate our energy and to whom. If you find that someone is a recurring cause of your energy depletion, it's a sign that the relationship may be impeding your spiritual journey. Choosing to distance yourself from an energy-draining individual is an act of self-preservation. It is a step towards cultivating a life filled with positive energy and relationships that support your journey towards enlightenment. 9. Inconsistency. In the Buddhist journey towards enlightenment, consistency is key to developing discipline and progress on the path. The ninth sign that it may be time to reevaluate your relationships is when someone exhibits inconsistency in their words and actions. Inconsistency can be confusing and destabilizing. It might show up as fluctuating commitments, erratic behavior, or unpredictable mood swings. This inconsistency is at odds with the Buddhist principle of right effort, which is about cultivating a steady and persistent approach to personal and spiritual development. The Buddha's teachings emphasize the importance of reliability and steadiness in one's actions. When someone's behavior is inconsistent, it can create an environment of uncertainty and mistrust, which is not conducive to the nurturing of Sangha, the community that supports your spiritual growth. Recognizing inconsistency is important because it affects the foundation of trust and mutual understanding in any relationship. In a true Sangha, members are consistent in their support and encouragement of each other's path to enlightenment. If someone's inconsistency leads to confusion and doubt, it's a sign that their presence may be hindering rather than helping your journey. Choosing to distance yourself from someone who is inconsistent is not an act of impatience. It is an act of seeking stability and peace. It is a step towards surrounding yourself with a community that embodies the consistency and reliability that support the Buddhist path of mindful living. 10. Lack of boundaries. In the Buddhist practice, where mindfulness and respect for oneself and others are paramount, the establishment of healthy boundaries is essential. The 10th sign that it may be time to distance yourself from someone is when they consistently disregard your boundaries. Boundaries are the limits we set to protect our well-being. They can be emotional, physical, or mental. When someone repeatedly crosses these boundaries, it shows a lack of respect and understanding, which is contrary to the Buddhist principle of right action. This principle encourages actions that are respectful and do not harm oneself or others. The Buddha taught that respecting boundaries is akin to honoring the sacred space of another. When someone ignores your boundaries, it can lead to feelings of violation and discomfort, which are detrimental to your spiritual growth and personal peace. Recognizing the lack of boundaries is crucial because it affects your autonomy and sense of security. In a supportive sangha or community, each individual's boundaries are acknowledged and upheld. If someone's behavior consistently encroaches upon your personal space, it's a sign that their presence may be more invasive than supportive. Choosing to distance yourself from someone who does not respect your boundaries is not an act of hostility. It is an act of self-care. It is a step towards cultivating relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding, in alignment with the Buddhist path of mindful and compassionate living. 11. Toxic communication. In the Buddhist path, where harmonious and mindful communication is encouraged, toxic communication is a significant obstacle. The 11th sign that it may be time to reconsider your relationships is when you are subjected to toxic communication. Toxic communication includes harmful behaviors such as verbal abuse, sarcasm that cuts deep, or constant criticism. It violates the principle of right speech, one of the Noble Eightfold Path's aspects, which advocates for speaking truthfully, kindly, and constructively. When someone's way of communicating causes pain, it's a sign that they are not practicing right speech and are instead creating an environment of hostility and hurt. The Buddha emphasized the power of words and the importance of using them to uplift rather than degrade. Toxic communication can lead to a breakdown in relationships and is detrimental to one's mental and emotional well-being. It disrupts the peace and unity that is essential in a sangha, the community that supports your spiritual journey. Recognizing toxic communication is crucial because it affects the quality of your interactions and your inner peace. In a supportive sangha, communication is based on respect, kindness, and encouragement. If someone's communication style is consistently toxic, it's a sign that their presence may be more harmful than beneficial. Choosing to distance yourself from toxic communication is not an act of avoidance. It is an act of seeking harmony and respect. It is a step towards cultivating a life where communication uplifts and supports your path towards enlightenment. 12. Self-betrayal. In the Buddhist philosophy, where self-awareness and authenticity are key, betraying oneself is a profound misalignment with one's true nature. The 12th sign that it may be time to distance yourself from someone is when your relationship with them leads to self-betrayal. Self-betrayal occurs when you compromise your values, ignore your needs, or silence your voice to maintain harmony with someone else. It's a violation of the principle of right mindfulness, which calls for a clear awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you betray yourself, you stray from the path of mindfulness and authenticity. The Buddha taught that the journey to enlightenment involves a deep understanding and acceptance of oneself. When someone's influence causes you to act against your principles, it creates inner conflict and suffering, which are obstacles on the path to spiritual awakening. Recognizing self-betrayal is crucial because it affects your integrity and the essence of who you are. In a true sangha or community, each individual's authentic self is respected and nurtured. If you find that a relationship requires you to be someone you're not, it's a sign that the relationship may be detrimental to your personal and spiritual growth. Choosing to distance yourself from situations that lead to self-betrayal is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of self-honor. It is a step towards cultivating a life that is true to your values and beliefs, in alignment with the Buddhist path of self-discovery and enlightenment. In conclusion, the signs we've explored are not just indicators. They are lessons from the Buddhist path that teach us about the importance of self-respect, mindfulness, and healthy relationships. Each sign, from constant negativity to self-betrayal, serves as a beacon, guiding us towards more peaceful and fulfilling interactions. Buddhism emphasizes the journey within, and part of this journey is recognizing when external influences detract from our inner peace. It's about understanding that distancing ourselves from harmful relationships is not an act of aversion, but one of self-compassion. It's a practice of right intention and right action, where we choose paths that lead to our well-being and spiritual growth. As we navigate through our relationships, let us be mindful of these signs. Let us embrace the wisdom of the Buddha, who taught us to seek connections that support our highest good and to let go of those that cause us suffering. Remember, it's not just about cutting ties. It's about forging a path towards a life that resonates with harmony, respect, and authenticity. May this understanding empower you to make choices that align with your values and contribute to your journey towards enlightenment. If you found guidance in these teachings, subscribe for more insights. Like to support the channel, comment your experiences, and share to help others find their path. Join our community for a journey to inner peace.